What's up everyone? So today we are checking out a 2018 Audi R8 V10 RWS. Huge thanks to Innovative Speed Shop for providing this vehicle for today. I will have all of their information down in the description below, which stands for Rear Wheel Series. This is finished off in Daytona Gray Pearl as well. This offers a mid-mounted 5.2 liter V10 and is only paired to the 7-speed S-Tronic dual clutch automatic with steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. This engine produces 532 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 398 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 RPM. It is rear-wheel drive, weighs around 3,600 pounds. 0 to 60 can happen in about 3.7 seconds. It has a top speed of 199 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 19.3 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 14 in the city and 22 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 104.3 inches. It has an overall length of 174.3. The width is 80.2 inches and it has a height of 48.8 inches. Starting up front, this comes with LED headlights along with the signature LED daytime running lights. It features the traditional hexagonal style front grille to it with Audi Sport in the upper left. This has 4 parking sensors running throughout the front bumper, along with massive air inlets under each headlight to provide even more cooling to the front mounted radiators. There's nice contours in the lower front splitter and very clean and sleek lines running down the hood. Moving to the side, this features 19 by 8.5 inch and 19 by 11 inch aluminum wheels. They're finished off in black and have a nice multi-spoke design to them. Disc brakes are on all 4 corners with the rotors up front measuring 15 inches with 6 piston calipers and 14 inches in the rear with 4 piston calipers. Carbon ceramic disc brakes are optional as well. The side blades on this model are finished off in gloss black in the top section and body colored in the lower section. You can opt for a carbon fiber finish in these. Just in front of them is another air inlet to provide even more cooling to the engine, along with nice sculpted lines running throughout the door. The side mirrors are finished off in gloss black. They are heated and power folding and do feature the integrated turn signal, and this does offer the magnetic ride suspension. And finishing up in the rear with the active spoiler, this has LED taillights, a standard backup camera with 4 parking sensors. The lower diffuser has very aggressive lines to it. There's more air inlets just underneath each taillight, and down below is the quad-tip dual exhaust. Alright guys, so that finishes up the exterior walk around on the R8 V10 RWS. What do you guys think of this car so far? Last year I got to drive the R8 V10 Plus, so I can't wait to get this out on the road and see what just the rear wheel drive version is like to drive. I really like the black wheels on this one. All the contours and the lines and everything are sleek and aggressive. It looks really good from the side. So now with the key, we'll go ahead and check out the interior. We have lock, unlock down at the bottom, and then opening up the front storage space is the button in the center. But as long as I have the key on me, up underneath is the door handle. You can just push behind it, you'll hear it unlock, then we just pull on the electronic handle and we can open up the door. The door panel is finished off in very nice black leather. We have gray stitching running down the armrest. The aluminum release handle is just behind the lock and unlock. Both the windows are automatic up and down. You have your power folding and heating adjustments for the mirrors. This is how you open up the front storage space, which we'll get to here soon. This has the carbon fiber option around the air vents on the door. It also has the upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system, and there's a little bit of storage space in the back side of the door. Moving inside now to the black Napa leather seats. They have really good bolstering to them, more of that stitching running along each side. Down on the lower section of the seat, this portion can be moved forward and back just by using the button on the side. And these do have an 18-way power adjustability with 4-way power lumbar support. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. It has a nice flat bottom design to it with R8 down below, along with nice aluminum trim pieces surrounding it. We're going to start off on the right side with the engine start stop button. Just pushing on this twice will turn on all the electronics. And then with my foot on the brake, we'll go ahead and start it up. Above that is the voice recognition along with Bluetooth and navigation. You have the volume for the radio along with a preset button that you can configure. And then moving to the left, we have the drive select button. So just by pushing on that, we can control between comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Above that, we have a view and back button along with a scrolling dial for up and down and then left and right. And all of those control the 12-inch virtual cockpit. And right now you can see the tach right in the middle along with the miles per hour and your gear selection, and then some other information to the left and right of that. Just by clicking on view, we can make the tach and speedometer now separate on each side of that screen, and we can view all of that information right in the middle, like your long and short-term memory, along with your average fuel consumption, the date and time. And now just scrolling to the right, we can see the music along with your phone, and then pulling up the navigation. You can also scroll and zoom in and out as well. It is a very detailed map to show you exactly where you are. And then just by clicking on the back button, we can basically go to the home screen. So by clicking on vehicle is everything that I just showed you. We can go down to music and radio along with your media and phone. We can click on view again, and now you can see the navigation is pulled up on the left side, and then going just through those normal settings that I showed you. And then on the right side is the tire pressure gauge, which is always shown. You have the fuel gauge on the far right, some other information down in the lower section of the screen, along with the engine temperature to the far left. This is also surrounded with carbon fiber. It looks really cool, surrounding the entire gauge setup with an aluminum accent piece just in the inside of that. On the back side of the steering wheel, this also has the paddle shifters again. To the left side of the steering wheel is all of the headlight controls, along with the daytime running lights and parking lights. There's more leather and carbon fiber running along the entire dash. Hopefully you can see the carbon fiber piece goes around the entire center gauge setup, along with more leather and stitching. It runs across the entire dash again. This is one of 999 vehicles in production, so it is a limited run on the RWS. There's more carbon fiber around 2 air vents. With all the electronics on now, you can see these dials come to life. On the far left is the fan speed. You can also click on this dial to turn on and off the AC. In the center is the fan speed, and then clicking on this one, you can go to auto. And then to the far right, this dial controls where you'd like the air to go, along with having the recirc. Off is down in the middle, along with some more defrosters and recirc below. These have a really nice floating design to them, very easy to use, and it gives it a clean look. You also have the heated driver and passenger seat controls to each side of that. Moving down below that, there's a compartment space here with 2 USBs and a 12 volt. There is a good amount of room here. You have traction control along with the hazard button. Parking sensors you can turn on and off, and then this is how you control the active rear wing. Behind that we have the leather wrap shifter, and there's also more carbon fiber surrounding the entire center here. Along with more leather, of course, it gives it a really clean and elegant look. With the shifter here now, just by pulling the trigger on the left, we can push this all the way up into reverse, and you will see the backup camera light up right in the center gauge setup here. It has a very crystal clear view, and by turning the steering wheel, you can see the lines will turn at the same time. And then again, we can go all the way down into drive, over into manual mode, and shift down here, or using the paddle shifters again. And then just by putting it to the back, we can hit P and put it into park. To the right of that is the button for the radio. We can turn it on and off and control the volume. Behind that, there are more buttons to control that center screen. So we have navigation, map, and phone on one side. There's radio and media on the other, along with a menu and back button, and then the rotary dial in the center that we can go through and click on as well. Behind that is the electronic parking brake, and then right in the center is the armrest / cup holder. So on the driver and passenger side, there's a nice aluminum button that we can push on to pop this open, and then you can see with that open, you have room for 2 drinks. Moving over to the glove box now, there's definitely a lot of room in there. Nice aluminum release handle. And we'll take one last look at these beautiful leather seats. And then up top you have the dome light switches that are touch sensitive, along with the garage door buttons. And then moving to the back now, there's a CD player down in the center. Just by pulling on this latch here, we can move the back portion of the seat forward to give you even more access to the back here. And you can see it's a nice partial shelf for jackets or coats or something like that. And then moving to the front storage space, we just push on this button here. And then up underneath the Audi logo, we just pull on a handle there. There's a couple nets on both sides. And it's actually a pretty deep compartment with a 12 volt down below there. You could actually fit a lot for 2 people here. And even like my car, I was able to fit 2 people's worth of camera gear as well. So there's definitely a lot of storage space up front. All right, so getting the V10 R8 RWS out on the road now. Brian is joining me for the test drive. So just getting out of the parking lot here, we'll talk about the overall visibility. Obviously looking out of the front is good, but you do have pretty bulky pillars on each side. It's the same in my car as well, but it really doesn't hinder you driving it on a daily basis. The side mirrors do a great job, and you can look forwards and backwards. That glass is large enough that you really don't have many blind spots. So it's a good daily driver that you can feel comfortable getting out in traffic and merging and things like that. We are in dynamic mode right now, and you can feel all the bumps in this road. It's a good little test.
It's the bumpiest road we could have ever gone on.
So getting out on the road now, we'll start from second gear. Just give it a good amount of gas. Oh my gosh. It's not like throw you back in your seat fast, but man, does it just like get up to that speed that you're going. Just talking about the layout of everything now, if this is something you are going to daily drive like the owner, this is his car that he drives pretty much every day, everything is really nice and easy to use. I like the layout, how there's not a whole lot of buttons in the middle, and you have these cool floating style design AC controls that are laid out well and easy to use again. And this is really a driver focused car because there's no screen in the center. Like Brian can't see, I don't think you can really see anything right now. I mean, you can see the
it's
screen,
such a big
but
screen I can see it fine, but I can't really control it.
Actually, you can use these dials down below if you wanted to. So you can zoom in and out.
Okay.
And then you can go through everything. So like I said earlier in the video, I have full control on the steering wheel myself. But if for some reason I'm busy or looking at something else, how's your visibility from the passenger seat?
You know, that's one thing about these central like cockpits in a lot of new cars. I don't know.
You just turned the radio on.
Oh. I don't know if the other brands have this, but I can easily do like navigation. If we're going somewhere and the driver doesn't want to, take their eyes off the road and stuff, I can easily do that. And it's a good enough view for me that I can actually do all this.
Now going between the different driving modes now, we've been in dynamic pretty much the whole test drive because why not? That's the coolest mode to be in, even though it is much stiffer. But I just put it into comfort mode just by using the button on the steering wheel. So again, more driver focused. You can do everything without even taking your hands off the wheel. The ride is pretty smooth so far. What do you think?
Yeah, you feel the bumps. I mean, it's a stiff chassis.
We'll go back into dynamic mode so we can easily tell. Very stiff right now.
And the exhaust valves open up in dynamic as well.
That's mainly the reason that the owner of this vehicle puts it into dynamic mode so you can hear those pops in that exhaust.
A little bit more pops on that one shift.
Sounds so good.
And then just bumping the shifter down, that goes from drive to your actual sport mode. A lot of people don't know that. And then putting it over is where you put it into manual mode. But make sure you put it into sport mode if you want that sport. We'll keep it in manual and sport now. Wow.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Oh my gosh.
Those shifts are so quick.
I'm not even doing like half throttle there. This car is so much more capable than what we're able to do with it today. This car is also very rare. I mentioned the plaque on the front of the dash there earlier, but this is one of 999 vehicles being produced and only one of 320 that were brought to the United States. So this in a sense is a very rare car, then probably the only one we'll be able to check out and drive, which is pretty cool. So a huge thanks to Innovative Speed Shop for providing this car today because this is an awesome opportunity to check this out. It is 110 pounds lighter than the V10 Plus, the all-wheel drive, and it's also about $60,000 less. Wow. So for that price, I mean, that's a huge enough gap to make you want to get this car. I mean, with rear-wheel drive, you can get a lot more tail happy with it. And I feel like the all-wheel drive is awesome. I have that on my car. It's definitely awesome for more inclement weather, but at the same time, spending 60 grand more just for all-wheel drive and about 60 more horsepower, I don't know. I mean, I don't
tune on this. You got the power, and I feel like the rear-wheel drive just gives you that extra fun factor, honestly. So it seems like you're not really losing out on anything being the cheaper car. I feel like you get more for it just because you have more of that fun factor in your rear-wheel drive. But you're talking like 100 grand less than the Huracan rear-wheel drive, which it's essentially the same exact car.
Yeah.
In a more practical layout and a little bit more usable and comfortable car too.
Along with everything that we just said and this being cheaper and just being rear-wheel drive, I also wonder why this is only a limited production vehicle, because unlike the Huracan, which they didn't set a number on, there's only less than 1,000 of these for the entire world. And it's probably going to be a very popular vehicle, as we've only seen one.
Yeah.
And so I wonder why Audi decided to make it a limited production.
But what a car. So we got a nice sweeping turn to check it out on.
I can't get over how direct this steering is. Like, I'm just holding it. Oh my gosh, it feels so tight.
Good stuff. Wow. so smooth and so linear. That's awesome.
I think that wraps up our walk around review and test drive in an R8 V10 RWS. What do you think?
I want one so bad. I want one of these. It's so nice.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Huge shout out again to Innovative Speed Shop for providing this car for today. We'll have all their information down in the description below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. We'll see you guys next video.